Hades troubles while we were up there. The Gulf oil spill from the horizon occurred while we were up there. A number of hurricanes or tropical cyclones occurred while we were up there. You know there's a ton of energy in there. You know it's heading towards.
Coming up on OU Nightly, we're going to be talking about the extreme fire danger Tuesday, and southeastern Oklahoma could see some severe weather. We'll talk about this coming up.
A special city council runoff is ahead. Hear from both sides before casting your vote. Plus, a former U.S. president will be arraigned. We have the details. This is OU Nightly.
Thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Sydney Wallace.
And I'm Jimmy Wicks. The countdown to Election Day is on.
Some Norman voters head to the polls tomorrow to vote in runoff election. OU Nightly's Olivia Daig spoke to both candidates for Ward 5. She joins us live from the newsroom. Olivia?
Jimmy, Sydney, Ward 5 is the area where the proposed turnpike could cut through East Norman, and that might be what is making this race so tight. Both candidates share similar views, each saying the turnpike doesn't belong in their area. There's no doubt the turnpike is keeping the race close. The two candidates, Rachar Tortorello and Michael Nash, both have spoken out publicly against the proposed route and share similar concerns.
The Oklahoma Turnpike Authority, with their use of eminent domain, should be using it judiciously with a scalpel instead of kicking a bucket of water over a map and saying, hey, this is what we want.
Going through Ward 5 kind of hits on the same fundamental problem that's been plaguing Ward 5 throughout its existence. It's always under threat of these outside sources trying to come in and inappropriately develop and pave over our watershed. Most of Ward 5 is rural.
Other elections include a runoff election for Norman Public School Board for office number 3. Again, not all Norman residents have the opportunity to vote tomorrow. It will just be those impacted by the runoff elections. Polls are open for Ward 5 City Council and Office 3 School Board voters from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Reporting in the newsroom, Olivia Daig, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Olivia. And it's feeling a little warm outside today and definitely windy, but it won't stay that way.
OU Nightly meteorologist Andrew Messersmith is tracking the fire warnings in Cleveland County. Andrew, what do these fire conditions mean for everyone?
Well, Jimmy, we had an absolutely ideal weather day today. Nice and warm, little taste of summer there, but come tomorrow, we're going to see these watches and warnings for fire weather over pretty much the entire western part of the state. And the SPC Storm Prediction Center has issued an extreme fire danger risk for tomorrow. This is the highest level that they can issue. But right now, current temperatures staying very warm. Look at that, 93 in Elk City. So coming up, we're going to talk about the extreme fire danger. We'll break that down. Tuesday, we've got a severe potential, who's at risk, and then a little bit cooler for your Wednesday. Back to you, Jimmy.
Thanks, Andrew. And an OU campus safety alert. 2 cars were stolen on campus this weekend. OU police say a car was stolen out of the Sarkeys multipurpose parking lot early Saturday morning. And last night, officers reported another car left at the Lloyd Noble parking lot. Police are reminding everyone to park in well-lit areas, lock your car, and take your keys with you.
Former President Donald Trump will be in court tomorrow facing more than 30 criminal counts. Becky Yanes has that and the rest of today's national headlines from the News Center.
The former president just landed in New York City ahead of his arraignment tomorrow. City officials are ramping up security at the Trump Tower, which is where he's expected to stay. Trump is set to appear in court tomorrow in relation to alleged hush money payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels. His lawyers are opposing media requests to broadcast the proceedings. And in Missouri, House representatives voted to defund the state's public library system. This after the state's ACLU sued to overturn a law that could jail librarians and educators if they carry, quote, sexually explicit books. The budget still has to work its way through the Senate and governor's office. And U.S. Speaker Kevin McCarthy confirms he will meet with Taiwan's president. This comes days after China expressed continuous anger toward U.S. support of Taiwan. China has pledged to, quote, fight back if Taiwan officials meet with McCarthy. And the FBI confirms that the suspected Chinese spy balloon that crossed the U.S. earlier this year was able to transmit information to China. Sydney, Jimmy.
Thanks, Becca. And April is Indigenous Awareness Month, and OU is kicking off their celebrations starting today. OU Nightly's Mecca Thompson is live at the event right now. Mecca, how's it going?
Yes, Sydney, it's going pretty good out here. I am at the Jim Thorpe Multicultural Center for Indigenous Awareness Month. And if you take a look behind me, we have some Native American sororities and fraternities, as well as some other organizations. And we're in a quick break right now, but just behind me, they had some traditional Native American dance and chant happening. And right over this way, they have some food and some light bites for people to eat all evening. And I got the chance to speak with a special OU student about what this means to him and the Native American community at OU. Here's what he had to say.
Just increasing that representation and visibility of Native people, especially in a space like a college campus, is really important, just because I think a lot of times we don't feel seen, we don't feel heard, just because we are such a small demographic.
This event is going on right now until 6 p.m., so you can come out and have a great time and learn about the culture. Reporting at Jim Thorpe, Mecca Thompson, OU Nightly.
Thanks, Mecca. A new app that can help you get the best bang for your buck while eating on Campus Corner. OU Nightly's Kenzie Eiserman introduces us to a student behind that effort.
College students are constantly trying to have a good time while saving money. A new app created by Andrew Fiore may help with that.
Bar Night is an app that allows bars and restaurants to post deals on drink discounts, food discounts, or any of their menu items for their customers to see and take advantage of.
The new free app launched last month, and so far, 600 people have already downloaded it from the App Store.
I think in the short term it'll probably get used a lot because it's novel.
I think with the demographic of college, it makes a lot of sense. College students like to save money, and it seems like it would help with efficiency and stuff, and especially with, having fun. College students like to do anything to have more fun, so.
One of the main functionalities of the app is claimable deals. And these are deals that bars and restaurants post and you're able to claim. Once you claim those deals, then they're added to your in-app wallet. And you can open the claimable deal once you get to the bar or restaurant, and you simply just show the server the redeem page screen and they give you the deal that they've posted.
For right now, Nompton, Sidelines, Logie's, Porch, Yo Pablo, New York Pizza, and Scratch are the only establishments featured in the app. But in the future, you may see Bar Night featured across the country. Kenzie Eiserman, OU Nightly.
You can now check out and download the app for free on app stores everywhere.
Coming up, you could be cutting down your commute time in Norman.
The Oklahoma Department of Transportation's plan to introduce new transportation alternatives.
And we're just under a week away from Easter.
When we return, we will tell you how your holiday traditions may have to change, coming up next.
Tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly weather with Campus Weather Authority.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Those running the financial activity and management of the Oklahoma County Detention Center are called in to dissolve. OU Nightly's Morgan Martin joins live in the studio with this story and more in today's Money Matters.
Happening this afternoon, protesters gathered outside the Oklahoma County Courthouse in hopes to get rid of the jail trust. Starting this month and the following, the group says they'll interrupt each trust meeting. This after a grand jury recommends that the county sheriff's office take over the Oklahoma County Detention Center. And leaders at the Oklahoma Department of Transportation are voting today on 62 projects to save time for commuters. If all projects are passed, they would total up to $52 million, including transportation alternatives like pedestrian and bicycling facilities. They've passed a $2 million resurfacing project that would happen on Highway 9 between Newcastle and Norman. And on a lighter note, dyeing Easter eggs this year may cost you a little more. Here in Oklahoma, in 2021, eggs were $1.47 for a dozen. 2022, $1.93, and now those prices are around $4. But financial experts say go for plastic eggs rather than the carton. And a cheap, free way to gather some eggs, you can visit Norman's Easter egg hunt this Friday at Andrews Park. Sydney, Jimmy.
Thanks, Morgan. Community service is a big part of life here at OU.
See how the big event impacts the Norman community? Coming right up. And it's sunny and warm outside today. OU Nightly meteorologist Andrew Messersmith will have your full forecast.
To Sophia and Gabriel, even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods near here again. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are, you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has all the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Evening tornadoes tear through Oklahoma.
We have a tornado warning for Cleveland County.
The OU Nightly weather team was there before.
45 minutes away or less from these storms getting into campus.
During.
Plenty of people who, are living off campus. This storm is headed to you.
And after.
Again, sending news crews out to assess damage.
Always keeping the University of Oklahoma in focus.
Campus in the clear right now.
OU Nightly Weather with Campus Weather Authority.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. If you've been feeling those allergies out there, I know I'm not alone. The tree allergy report is at a high for Oklahoma City, and grass also getting up there, starting to get into the medium range. And it's just going to continue as we see these higher winds blowing all that pollen around out there. This is the current wind gust map. We're seeing 10 to 15 to 20 in the OKC Norman area. But as we go farther west, some of those higher numbers approaching 30 miles an hour wind gusts. And we are in those wind alerts. This is through 6 p.m. tomorrow. We've got wind advisories for Oklahoma City and Norman moving west, and then we've got a high wind warning for the Panhandle. And that is really helping to fuel some of the fire danger that we're going to see over the next day or two. So here's the future wind gust map. We're looking at Tuesday afternoon. This is 3 p.m., approaching 40 miles an hour in the OKC metro area, getting over 50 into the 60 mile an hour range as we go into the Panhandle. And then as we go throughout the evening, Tuesday, that'll begin to calm down before we've got this cold front that's going to surge south and help bring with it more winds, but this time from the north, cooling things down for your Wednesday. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but we are in this extreme fire danger risk for tomorrow, Tuesday, driven by those strong winds that I just mentioned. This is the highest risk that the Storm Prediction Center can issue, so make sure if you're out there driving around that you're paying attention to those band burns. We were looking at this relative humidity forecast. This is really just shows you how intense this situation is going to be. 4% relative humidity tomorrow in Elk City, only 12% here in Norman. We had those fires Friday that tore through Edmond, so be careful out there to make sure you are not the cause of a large fire. And once a fire starts tomorrow, it's going to burn quickly because of those strong winds. Now, as we head into Tuesday, we are also going to see this severe weather outlook for southeastern part of Oklahoma. This is a moderate risk issued by the Storm Prediction Center, and we are looking at a 15% tornado risk. This is a large area of 15%, and here in the southeastern part of Oklahoma, it's going to be a little bit of a conditional threat. Towards the evening, we're going to see those storms start to fire, and here's also the wind threat. We're in a 15% slight risk for eastern part of Oklahoma, and then a little bit larger as you head into Arkansas. So what is causing this? Well, we are looking at this severe storm air mass coming through. We've got the two ingredients we need, right? We need moisture, and we need a front to help make those storms form. So here comes this large low pressure system. Here's all that energy coming through Oklahoma. We've got this moisture just surging up, helping to create those storms. Now, why will some of us see these storms, but other people won't? Well, we just saw there's moisture in central Oklahoma, but we didn't see storms, just southeastern. Well, we're going to see a capping inversion. Now, what is a cap? Well, it's when you have cooler air at the surface and then warmer air aloft. So think about like if you're boiling water and you've got all that warm air and it hits the cap and it just can't quite get above that. Well, as we move on and the sun starts shining and the surface starts heating, that warm air starts pushing up until it is a little bit warmer than the air above it, or you have a front come through to help push up that air, and that's when you see those storms form. So the timing for that, for Tuesday, we're going to see southeastern Oklahoma around 10 p.m. It's going to be late. It's going to be 10 p.m. and then by overnight into the early morning hours, we're going to see those showers and thunderstorms really kick off. So for the rest of your week, we're going to have a cooler Wednesday followed by slight warm up again into the weekend, but overall dry conditions into the weekend. Jimmy, Sydney.
Thanks, Andrew. Over this past weekend, the University of Oklahoma had its biggest service event of the year. OU students traveled all over the Oklahoma City metro to more than 200 locations to get their hands dirty and serve their community. Everyone was really excited to work together to clean the community. Here's what one student had to say.
We were able to pick up trash and really just help clean up the campus. It's just awesome to get the opportunity to come out and serve Norman. Norman serves us so well at the university, and so it's great to just get to give back to them and serve them through this big day of service.
The big event is a nationwide effort, but OU has the third largest in the country. And over the weekend, OU softball competed in a rematch of the College World Series.
The series had plenty of highlights and drama, and our own Pierce Suffelholtz has more in sports.
Yeah, softball had a highlight reel of a weekend. Women's gymnastics started their postseason run, and the NBA playoff race will have you on the edge of your seat. Sports is next.
Trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Did you know that items like paint, cleaning solutions, pesticides, solvents, and other chemicals are considered household hazardous waste? These chemicals are dangerous to our environment and water quality when they are dumped in our storm drains or gutters. Fortunately, the City of Norman has a dedicated household hazardous waste facility where you can properly dispose of these items. Call 405-366-5463 to make an appointment. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
Meet the Scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you!
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Hello, I'm Piers Levelholtz, and it's time for sports. Sooner softball had a rematch of last year's national championship against Texas over the weekend. The Sooners dominated Game 1, winning 8-1 in Oklahoma City on Friday. But on Saturday, OU had their back against the wall, down 3-1 going into the last half inning. Jada Coleman proceeded to hit a 2-run bomb to left field, with Kenzie Hansen walking it off shortly after. The Sooners swept the series with a run rule 10-2 victory on Sunday for the cherry on top.
Of this team today. Yesterday, after that close game, the way we pulled it out could have been a day where they came in, you know, just kind of reeling still from the night before, but they came out ready to play. Just a good team weekend. It is tough to sweep Texas. They're very good.
Oklahoma baseball also had a big-time matchup over the weekend as the number 7 Stanford Cardinal traveled to Norman for a 4-game series. The Sooners struggled on Thursday, losing 23-11, but OU pulled it together on Friday and Saturday with a shutout win 2-0 and a nail-biting win 6-5. Oklahoma dropped the series finale 16-5 on Sunday to split the series against the top 10 opponent. Number 1 overall Sooners women's gymnastics started the road for back-to-back national championships on Saturday. Oklahoma fell after third rotation, but started a rally backed by a perfect 10 from Kathleen Lavasser. OU won their regional and advanced to the NCAA semifinal on April 13th in Fort Worth. The 23rd ranked OU women's tennis team took on number 10 Iowa State in Norman on Sunday. Oklahoma destroyed the Cyclones, winning 4-1, supported by their 20th double point of the season. The Sooners have an in-state rivalry against Oklahoma State for their last home match of the season on Friday. Former Oklahoma men's basketball guard C.J. Nolan has announced he is transferring to St. Louis. The former 4-star prospect only started the first 8 games for the Sooners before losing his starting spot. Nolan averaged 3.2 points and 1.3 rebounds per game. And breaking news, former Sooner forward Jalen Hill just announced he's in the transfer portal as well. The Thunder hosted Kevin Durant and the Phoenix Suns on Sunday. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander put up 39 points, but it wasn't enough as Durant led the Suns with 35 as the Thunder fall 128-118. The Thunder continue to hold on to their last play-in spot with just 3 games remaining, starting with Golden State tomorrow. The Women's National Championship was a marquee matchup last night between the Iowa Hawkeyes and the LSU Tigers. Caitlin Clark continued her insane run with 30 points and 8 assists, but Angel Reese's double-double was too much. LSU wins 102-85 for their first national championship. And tonight, UConn and San Diego State play in the Men's National Championship. Jimmy, Sydney, who you got?
You know, I definitely have UConn. I'm a big Huskies fan.
I'm with you on UConn, and also our own Pierce Levelholtz is in a bracket group with about 25 people. Only person to pick UConn. My Kansas Jayhawks definitely did not hold up, but give me UConn for sure.
Well, with Easter right around the corner, one Maryland town has a one-of-a-kind show.
See how a marshmallow Easter-themed art show is helping out a local cause. Next on OU Nightly.
To Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Did you know that trash, like plastic bottles and fast food wrappers, can carry germs and bacteria? When these items are tossed in the street, they eventually find their way to a river or lake and have a negative impact on aquatic life. Keep our waters clean by putting your trash in the bin. For more information, visit bit.ly/Norman Stormwater.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter which you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
I'm Emery Johnson at the OU Nightly Update Desk. Oklahoma City Police sharing new information after a mass shooting that took place at Whiskey Barrel Saloon. Saturday, 3 people died and 3 were taken to the hospital. Police say there was a fight that broke out between several biker gangs. 1 man has been taken into custody. Sydney, Jimmy.
Thanks, Emery. And on a lighter note, Easter weekend is on its way, and what is a better treat than Marshmallow Peeps?
In Westminster, Maryland, they have an annual peep show where local artists use thousands of colorful marshmallows to make one-of-a-kind delicious art. From zebras to a Pikachu, a life-size vending machine with packaged peeps inside, and so much more. It's all free and donations go to Country Arts Council.
You know, I've always loved Peeps. They've been one of my favorite candies since I was a little kid.
I really can't relate, but maybe that's just me and just like too much sugar.
Well, let's get one last look at our weather. Andrew Messersmith, OU Nightly meteorologist, what do we have for this week?
Well, Sydney, I agree with you on the Peeps, that's for sure. And we're looking at some good weather for Easter weekend, at least no rain, mild temperatures. But if you're headed out this evening, we're going to see temperatures remaining warm through 8 p.m., still above 80 into 7 p.m. range, being a very, very nice evening. Fairly light winds, still in the 70s through 9 p.m. But just want to remind you one last time of the extreme fire danger we have tomorrow. Make sure you're listening to those burn bans and you are not being the cause of any fires here in Oklahoma tomorrow. And taking one last look at your 7-day forecast. 59 on Wednesday, much cooler, and then into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, there's that Easter forecast, 77 degrees for Easter.
Thanks, Andrew, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Sydney Wallace.
And I'm Jimmy Wicks. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.
Scared as your family if a tornado shows up at your doorstep, or a flood, or a hurricane. You can't just turn away a natural disaster. That's why